All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the crypto gaming GambleFi markets today, as the market is kind of still leveling around that 41, 42 level. We got pumps up towards 44, and then we kind of consolidated back down. I'm going to go over exactly why I don't think this run is over. I think that the holiday season has caused a little bit of a lull in the markets, and I think that January could be a potential big month with the ETF news potentially, as well as a lot of key gaming catalysts on the way. So I'm also going to go over some altcoins I deem to be very good buys right now during this little bit of a market stagnation. What a word there. Let's go ahead and jump into the game. All right, and as always, guys, jump down, like the video, and subscribe for more every single day here on In the Game. And, one of the biggest crypto gaming channels on YouTube. We are trying to hit that 100,000 mark here, at least Q1. So like, subscribe down below. We're almost at 90K. So I think we can hit that goal, especially if the crypto gaming markets keep cooking how they have been. And then also shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have 𝗕𝗨𝗘𝗦, Amino Rewards, Vulcan Forged, Ultra, XCAD Network. We have Redato, Dreams Quest, Owned. We have 𝗓𝗨𝗪𝗘𝗦𝗧. So we have so many sponsors here on the show. And I have to say, like, they're all doing some really cool stuff. Drop down in the link in the down below. And specifically, I'll talk about a few that are really making waves here at the end of the show. But when I look at the market right now, I see this as an opportunity. First and foremost, long term, this type of price level, you're still in way before the retail. And, everyone has funny stories when you're in crypto and you're with your family or whatever. And like, it's just not there where it was last cycle. I remember 2021 holiday season, and people were like, should I buy? Should I buy Ethereum? Should I buy Bitcoin? I'm looking at these altcoins. I saw Solana, this and that. It's like, that wasn't there this time around. And I still think we have a long way to go. Like, the retail, so to speak, is just not here yet. And I think we have a lot of upside to come still during this run. And I think that a lot of people think the ETF news is priced in. Now, the rally up towards the news could be, but I do think on approval, we're definitely going to see another huge green candle. I don't see an approval causing this massive red candle, and that could be the time to potentially take a little bit of profits. But what are the positions we want to line up before them? Well, first and foremost, let's talk about some of our recent positions we got into here on In the Game. I mean, look at this on Honeyland. We gave you guys this one right here, right before the holidays. And this thing has 3x'd since that price around that 6.5 cent level. And they have so much more on the way. They just implemented this marketplace in the game with, no pun intended, in the game. Yeah, there we go. We are talking about crypto gaming at the end of the day. But when you look at the marketplace here, they partnered up with Magic Eden. So right in the mobile app, you can jump in and you can trade your bees right there. And it's so seamless. So imagine you're coming in and you have no idea what a wallet is, what any of this stuff is, seed phrases, what chain you're using. You don't even have to know anything about that here when you're using the app. As you see here in real time, the purchase comes off the back end of Magic Eden. And then on the front end, you're just transacting on the app. This is the future of Web3 gaming right here. It almost feels chain agnostic. Like you don't even have to know what chain you're residing on to be able to play these games. So I see that as a huge, huge achievement, because we have to make it easier for the front end user to be able to participate. And truly speaking, I think that this has so much more upside to come at that 32 million circulating market cap. By far, they have to be one of the hottest, if not the hottest game on Solana at this moment in time. And we're going to keep it on the Solana narrative here. And we're going to take a look at WINR. WINR has done a clean 2x since we called it out here on the show during November, late November. We got in on this token around that 6.5 cent level. And when you look here, there's no surprise on why it's doing what it's doing. GambleFi is heating up, and this one's way undervalued. The market cap definitely deserves to be much higher than it is, given what they're doing. They have their sports betting on the way. They have all the other pillars live. And then, like I said, speaking of Solana, WINR expands to Solana. So they've been on Arbitrum and now they're moving over to Solana, which I actually deem to be very good networks for them to be kind of implanted on. Like the casino markets, so to speak, on these chains, Arbitrum and on Sol, they're kind of underdeveloped. There's just not many quality products on those chains yet. So I see that being a big opportunity. And one thing I hope, if they expand to Avalanche, the red coin back there behind me, that's a trifecta for success, in my opinion. Solana, ARB, Avalanche. So we'll see if that happens. And they did revamp their website as well. You can jump in here. You can build games. There's plug and play tools for developers. They have the number generation. It's fully on chain. So they're doing some really cool stuff over here. They have their analytics and everything like that. So shout out to WINR and everyone who got in on that winning position, let me say. And then as Sol has kind of leveled off around that $100 level, Kaneko's kind of taken a dip here, but we got in at the 40 cent mark here. And this one has absolutely crushed it. It's up 2.5x just over the last couple of weeks. I think that this retrace is justified because it pumps so hard, but I think it's actually getting down to that good level. This is on Solana as well. And they have a lot in the pipeline to start 2024. So those are some of the recent ones that we got in on that have been absolutely killing it. And I want to give some love to some of our older positions as well. Echelon Prime, we got it in this one at 270. So this one's absolutely killed it at this point in time. But genuinely speaking, and I said this on the show yesterday, I think this could be the Axie token of this cycle. And the reason being is Parallel, the trading card game, it just has all the recipes of success for a trading card game. But beyond that, this was an S tier token in the tier list. And by the way, after this video, if you didn't, I ranked 56 gaming altcoins yesterday on a tier list. So go check that out after this show, of course. Get all the alpha here for today's market, and then go check my tier list to see where these things ranked. But I did put the Parallel Echelon Prime token in the S tier. And as you see here, Parallel Colony is going to launch soon. This is the catalyst that I'm really waiting for, and I think is going to make this that Axie level type of single game token that we saw last cycle. So Colony is a never-ending game powered by AI, where all in simulation items are on chain. You're paired with an avatar who acts as a boots on the ground. You and your avatar will work together to share on-chain resources. And they actually released this trailer, and I think it does look spectacular. Let me go to theater mode here. The graphics are pretty solid. And the AI portion, imagine this having a gaming and an AI narrative to it. That's where I see so much opportunity. Everyone knows gaming, AI, real world assets. Those are some of like the hottest niches that people think are going to really explode heading into the next cycle. I think that Parallel has such a unique opportunity to bridge gaming and AI here, alongside some other projects out there. AI Arena is going to launch soon. Their token's not live yet, but I think they could do a good job as well. So this is going to be sick. Once this is live and you can interact in the gaming side with your AI, I think that's going to be huge. We also mentioned Citus on the show yesterday. The Citus token is taking a little bit of a dip here. If we take a look over the month, it's got a 20% retrace, but on the year, it has still done, tremendous numbers. But if you look at the market cap here, the 54 on the circulating and 131 on the fully diluted, I still see that Senate is the undervalued play here. It's about 2.5x lower than Citus, and the circulating is 3x lower than Citus. And the reason I love this, and they just came up with this, the Citus Launchpad, it was up for governance vote. It got voted approved. And then they just came up with the name, which is Citus Pad. And, when you look at the amount of holders on the Citus token, there's 31,000 holders. I see that that's like, and if you look at the Senate holders, it's just way lower. But the supply of Senate, this just makes so much sense to me that Senate is way undervalued. And if you look at another ecosystem in Star Atlas, and let me see if I can jump to this real quick, just to give you a real-time example. Get this loaded. Look at the Star Atlas governance token. It's 100 million market cap, 150 circulating, or diluted. So this is where I see the opportunity for something like a Senate to catch up, because it's the same token in the different ecosystem. Like it is the polis of Citus. So that's where I see truly that Senate could be a big play here. And also Echelon Prime. Like we're getting into the things that I think are actually great DCAs right now. Echelon Prime and Senate do fit that category. I also think Altura is not getting enough love in this market. They have been really pushing forward. They have an upcoming mint with one of their partner games, 9 Lives Arena. But more importantly, the chat box has always hustle. When are they listing on exchanges? When can it become more available? I don't want to use Binance Smart Chain. Well, it's on the way. And some rumblings are, these are just leading up to bigger exchange listings. So we see Mexi, we see BitGet. I know that they're going to want to strive for stuff like KuCoin, Bybit, those types of exchanges. And then this is going to be readily available for people to get involved with. And I still think that in the top of the next cycle, this can break all-time highs around that 40-cent level. So that's another one I think is a fantastic buy. Now let's get into some of the smaller cap stuff at this moment in time. And I know a lot of people in the chat box over time have asked me about WASDR. Now, WASDR has been a tumultuous ride, let's just say, right? And it's funny, I got in around 2 cents way back here last year, about 2 cents. This one pumped all the way up to like 4 cents, but it wasn't a bull market. I wasn't ready to take profits on that. I was in it for the long term, right? And I bag held all the way down here. It was a 90% loss at that point, like up until October, this area. I bag held this thing all the way down. I didn't sell a single one. And I just figured it would come back. And I did this, like my Polygon entry, it dipped and then it rocketed back up whenever they had business development. And then it's currently doing well. Avalanche, I was underwater on my DCAs around $20. Now it's double that. So like that bear market conviction paid off, right? Well, I still have every single token in my WASDR bag, and I'm now back at about break even. And I see that this is a pretty good opportunity right here because WASDR just got bought out by Wombat. Wombat is this token here, which is an $18 million, $50 million fully diluted. They have a great portfolio of games underneath their umbrella and a lot of things to come. When I look at Wombat WASDR, it could be a little bit of a good combination play here. Like I see these maybe working in tandem because of the success that Wombat has had on their ventures. I see that, you know, WASDR could be a big benefit from that. So I like Wombat and WASDR in the current state. Another one, we had Mirko come on the show last month, a couple weeks ago maybe, and he gave us the alpha that a lot of stuff was coming for Unix. And after the show, he was able to share with me some of the stuff that was coming along. And one of those things was the Avalanche C-chain bridge. So now Unix is going to be readily available on the Avalanche C-chain. And from my understanding, they might go subnet here. So they might have their own Unix subnet, kind of similar to a build on Beam, a Merit Circle, for example. And they'll have their own Unix chain. Unix will be used as the gas token during this ecosystem. And then operating between Unix and owned, I definitely think, like, look at this market cap here, 8 million circulating for Unix. And it's taken quite a bit of a jump here ever since this news, but I still think that this is a long-term winner. If you're looking for something that has been kind of under the radar for the last, I mean, let's be honest, Unix has been basically very quiet for the last 18 months. And then they focused on the owned platform, as you see here, owned by Unix Gaming. And they're really about to kick it up a notch. As you see here, Trader Joe, Unix Gaming is spearheading the development of owned GG. So them going over to Avalanche, I think, is huge. Like, I believe the token was only on the ETH network. No one likes using the ETH network, to be completely honest. It's going to get more exchange listings. And I see Unix being a huge play heading into 2024. Another one that, you know, and I know that the title says the next altcoin to pump. Well, these are some of the next ones I think will take a hit to the upside, right? Senate, I think Echelon Prime's putting in new highs here pretty soon. I think that Altura will take a kick upward. I think that Wombat and WASDR are great plays. Unix. And the reason I'm giving you multiple plays here so you can make your assessment, do your own research, and figure out which ones make sense for your portfolio. Because here's the thing. You could have 50 platforms in your portfolio or however many coins. I hope you don't hold 50 coins, okay? But at the same time, you might have a ton of different gaming studios. So maybe you want an individual gameplay, or maybe you have a bunch of gaming tokens, but you want GambleFi plays. So I'm going to give you a few tokens here that I deem to be fantastic DCAs during this little bit of a market, sideways trend. Let's just put it that way. I wasn't going to use stagnation again, okay? But whenever I look at the market right now, this is what I'm seeing to be some of the tokens that are low market cap that could have a springboard to the upside on this next pump. And I think that Dubs, this is a juicy dip right here. Like, it's under 50 million. It went up to $7 and now it's at 492. There is no reason for this. And when you look at the developments, their app is looking so smooth. They're about to onboard so many Web3 games, the gambling, the revenue as a service. It just makes too much sense to me. And everyone is always concerned with fully diluted market cap. And this is where we're going to bridge in GameFi to GambleFi. Like, Dubs is the epitome of GameFi meets GambleFi because of esports wagering. And when you look, the diluted market cap, 48, 49, there's no VC money here. They didn't do anything as far as fundraising. And, they've been crushing it to this point. And I'm looking forward to their developments in 2024. This is like a 40% dip, like from this level of $7. If you're like, yeah, 30, 40%. If you're looking for an entry, it's right in front of your face right now when it comes to the Dubs token. But let's talk about some lower cap gambling coins. So right now, this one's been getting a lot of love on the timeline. This one's been getting a lot of love from Becker and some other, altcoin traders out there. And that's VPP, Virtue Poker. Now, Virtue Poker was a last cycle token in regards to, this thing crushed it last cycle. If you look at where it was, 80 cents, that's a 16x from here. And to be quite honest with you, it probably could hit that level again at this market cap. It's a $6 million market cap. But the reason and recently this wasn't really on my radar for some sort of an accumulation or a position. But when you look at the user uptick during this time period, it's definitely been impressive. September, they onboarded 500 new users. Then in October, 1,500 new users. November, 2,500 new users. And then in December, they did 1,500 new users. And by the end of the month, this was posted a few weeks ago, they're estimated to be 4,000 new users this month. That puts it at 50,000 website visits and 6,000 total users with an estimate of 7.5 thousand. They also have big partnerships established with Decentral Games, another poker project, and 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏𝗏. They're going to be adding support for Pulse Chain, Scale, which is very under the radar, but they're gaining a lot of traction right now, and Avalanche. So, I think that the narrative on this could really heat up. And the thing about it is Pulse Chain is a straight up Degen chain. There's no better chain to go to cater to the Degens than Pulse Chain. And then if it goes over to Avalanche as well, I see this being a pretty good play. If you're looking for, the next pump from GambleFi, WINR, Kaneko, etc., I think that you could probably find success with a little DCA here into Virtue Poker, given the social sentiment and the user growth speaks for itself, right? And then the one altcoin I would say on the gaming side, just to finish this up, that I think is a pretty good accumulation during this time period is Compete. Compete, we talked about it yesterday on the tier list. I believe they ended up in the B tier. But this game is S tier. I'm going to tell you, like, if you jump into this product, you're going to be thoroughly impressed. The graphics, the gameplay, the feel, the gunplay, everything that you have inside of this game is top notch. Go check it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And this one's so undervalued. It's a 25 million market cap, 38 million fully diluted. I do feel like Compete is another solid DCA during this time of the market. So right now, if you're looking for the higher cap stuff, I'd look at Echelon Prime as a pretty good DCA here. When you look at the 1 month, this one also got all the way up to 11.50, and now it's about a $2 dip from there. And what's to come with Parallel Colony? The AI traders, they're going to flock over to this token to get that GameFi exposure. And the same thing, the GameFi investors will love the AI exposure that they get from this. So I like Echelon Prime. I like Senate, Altura, Wombat/WASDR. Like, it's a good combination there because I think that they're about to announce some pretty big things over there. Unix, Dubs, Virtue Poker, and Compete. Those are the DCAs I'm looking at as of today. And, you know, I do think this market continues, guys. I don't think the ETF approval is baked in. So my theory, to kind of cap off the market recap here, is we're going to see the ETF approval. Q1 2024. That's a bearish timeline. Like, I think it might be in January. People are looming on the fact that it's January 11th, but I'm not going to hang my hat on any given date. I mean, it took like years for the XRP court. Every month people were saying the court case was going to come to an end, right? So I'm going to say Q1 24 for the ETF approval. That lines up pretty well. As you see here, the halving is in 113 days. So there could be this huge like pre-halving pump. We usually see a dip right after the halving, and then we head into that next cycle. I could see a pre-halving pump combined with an ETF approval shoot us up towards 50, 60. And I'm being honest here. 50, let's just say for now. Like the God candle to 60, we'll see. But I think we could get sent up to 50 easily with the pre-halving pump, given the historical of Bitcoin, the way that it rallies leading up to the halving. And then we see an ETF approval. The day that they launch the ETF, not the approval, the launch, where your grandma can invest her money into the ETF, the Bitcoin ETF. That's the top of the market locally. Once we allow in that much retail to buy this thing on, you know, whatever they're using, you know, once BlackRock's ETF gets approved and launched, I think when the money starts coming in, we're going to see the local top for Bitcoin. It just lines up too perfectly. Like, that just makes too much sense for me. And then after that dip, after that money kind of is getting a little scared, we're going to probably see that real beginning of the next bull market in full. Like, we are in a mini bull right now. And I've said that multiple times, a mini bull. People think it's funny in the chat box, but that truly is what this has been. And it's great to see gaming get the love that it has. And I think whenever we get this next leg up in Bitcoin, gaming is definitely going to once again be the leading niche. It just makes too much sense because eventually people are only going to be playing these games for the economy, for the gameplay, for the competition, for the esports, for the wagering, whatever the case is. And then they're not going to care about the price of these different assets. And these individual games, there will be opportunities across the market all the time once these different games have tens of thousands of users across different ecosystems. Gaming is the one narrative. You know, AI is great, and I have some AI projects in my bag, but when you look at use case, nothing makes more sense than gaming. Now let's look at a couple things that have recently launched or are on the way. I know a lot of people are always looking for the next opportunity, and we've fed you guys so many opportunities on this show this year. 2023 was a great year. SpartaDex crushed it, and they're crushing it again. We got you guys early into GameSwift. We got you guys early into stuff like Dubs. We got you guys early into, and I'm just thinking of like new launches this year. We got you guys early into Shrapnel. You know, there's so many that we called out. Overworld Mint. We got you in the AOF Mint. We called a lot of different things here this year that hadn't launched yet. Now, there's a new token out there today. I have not bought this thing. Reason being is it is just dipping because probably a TGE. I'm thinking there was a TGE dip here. Like investors got their money and then they went ahead and dumped their tokens for profit. And that's why we're seeing a 56% dip. It literally launched today, this token. So do not go ape. Let this thing consolidate. But this is a pretty interesting project. It's basically like play, compete, earn based on your activity. And it's a complete gaming token. The people they follow are pretty interesting. And from the most part, the people that have retweeted it line up with their following. So you could assume maybe You could assume maybe that some of these people are involved. I mean, they have Bybit, they're, you know, Brycent, Farouk. Who knows? That's speculation. Dingaling, Loopify. So if it starts coming out, we know Pixel Vault launched to that they sent a tweet out today that, you know, they can, you know, get integrated with Reboot, the GG token. So this is an interesting one. I'm going to keep my eyes on it. And if/when I make an entry on this, I will definitely let you guys know here on the show. Another one I'm looking ahead for, and a lot of people think this could be one of the next big studio launches. It's Meta X Seed. I know that they're, you know, partnering up with a lot of quality projects, and they're going to be launching their own in-house games, Layer 1 chain. They have their marketplace, and then they're going to have their game launcher. This has all the makings of like a Beria, a Gala, a GameSwift, a Naka. And then they're also going to have nodes. Those are going to go live in Q1. So keep an eye out for Meta X Seed. That is also their Twitter name if you want to shoot them a follow. AOF. So we talked about, you know, we talked about the mint when it was a free mint earlier this fall. And that rocketed. It went to like 0.7 ETH or something like that. And their token is going to be launching Q1 as well, the AOF token. And whenever you look at this, 500,000 monthly active users. And I inquired because it's very hard to verify, guys, if numbers are real in this space, right? And I actually got verification, and I have them up here on my second screen. Total downloads, 783,000. Daily active users averaging 40,000 for the last 2 weeks. And this was last week. So the download numbers definitely gone up. And this is straight from the source because I don't trust most projects. And they literally sent me the back-end analytics on the app stores, which is impressive. So I have to say kudos to them. Not a lot of projects would go out of their way to prove their numbers. And that really speaks volumes for me. So I'm looking forward to their token drop and airdrop. If you hold the fortune, the initial founders keys, you're going to get an airdrop. So keep an eye out on that one. Mixmob, their public sale goes live on January 11th. It's a $250 price package that includes a mix bot, which is the NFT. And then it also has MXM's tokens, MXM tokens equaling 250 in value. So I think it's a pretty good play. You're getting in at the ground level of this game, and it's on the Solana chain. And I think it has a lot of narrative to it. Aether Games token is going to be coming out soon as well. I'm really looking forward to this. It has a lot of the, I don't know how, the Vulcan Forged vibes to it. And they have a heck of a war chest. And I have to say, their partnerships, their IP that they're going to be launching in these games, you're going to know what it is whenever they announce it. It's a pretty big entertainment brand. So I'm keeping an eye out for the Aether Games token for sure. And then a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors. And I also want to put a disclosure out there. Like, I know yesterday I saw a couple comments on the tier list video that said, well, Hustle, Seedify is a sponsor. That's the only reason they were in S tier. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. There are many sponsors on this show over time that I don't endorse their token whatsoever. And that's because I don't push things that I don't truly believe in, right? And over time, like, there will be different sponsors that come on, and you will clearly notice if I'm bullish on the token or if I'm not bullish on the token. So that's first and foremost. And Seedify is an S tier token, no doubt about it. Vulcan Forged was in my A tier. Ultra was in my A tier. And these are sponsors on the show. Any long-term viewer on this show knows I'm super bullish on these tokens. I'm bullish on Ammo. I'm bullish on Owned, the Unix token. Like, there are a lot of sponsors on the show currently that I'm very bullish on their tokens. So I don't want to see those comments, because a long-term follower of my pages 2+ years ago would know I'm bullish on Seedify, Vulcan Forged, and Ultra. So I did want to give that disclaimer that if I talk about a token and they're a sponsor, there's a reason. It's because I like it. I have genuine conviction, and I'm not going to feed you anything that I don't genuinely believe can perform well. So Vulcan Forge has been crushing it. We DCA'd around that $273 level, and Jamie's kind of given a hint as to what's to come for 2024. They want to onboard new users. A new vast suite of products. They have multiple new games coming out. And I think for the Elysium chain, they're really going to bring out some cool things socially and in the gaming space that are going to really ramp up the activity. The Elysium chain currently like the tech is fantastic, and it's getting like a lot of traction, a lot of transactions daily. He says it's a layer 1 that outperforms some of the top 10 in technology, single games that outperform entire ecosystem, and the community is undoubtedly one of the strongest in the space. So look out for Vulcan Forged for a huge 2024. And then on Ultra's side, this is fantastic. They teased this multiple times over the last couple of years, but their first-person shooter, this is going to be awesome. This is the Citadel, Project Citadel. Give this a follow. This is going to be the flagship title underneath the Ultra launcher. And if you're not on Ultra already, sign up in the link in the description down below. Like, head down below, download the launcher, create an account. You can buy and trade games to other players. They have an NFT marketplace. There's a lot of Web3 games launched on there currently. And this one right here, I think, is going to set the standard for Ultra's platform. And he's, David, we've had the co-founders here of Ultra on the show. And, when ready, this game will look stunning. The weekly progress is phenomenal. And now that all the core systems are working, visuals are the main focus. So the mechanics are good to go. The gameplay, the gunplay, the mechanics, the movement, and now they're focused on the graphic appeal, which is awesome. The people making this game know what they're doing. This is becoming a stellar FPS with mechanics like no other. So definitely download the Ultra launcher down below. You're going to want to be involved whenever this launches. I'm going to tell you that. So guys, like the video, subscribe. We're here every single week to deliver you all the alpha. I mean, we just went over 30 minutes of gaming altcoins, gaming news, things that's going to come up over the next month, 2 months, first quarter of 2024 that you can genuinely prepare for and be able to execute whenever the time comes in this market. Because I do truly believe Q1 2024 leading into the halving and with the ETF, as I mentioned, is going to be a huge time period for crypto and for crypto gaming. And I think that the upside you've seen from gaming coins is just the tip of the iceberg for what we're going to see in the full cycle. And after that ETF approval, we're going to really see an acceleration in some of these projects with huge candles on Bitcoin on the approval. But we will be methodically taking profits before the actual launch of the ETF. And obviously, we're going to be here to guide you through and tell you exactly my game plan during that whole time. So guys, Happy New Year's. I don't think we're going to have a show until January 2nd. I know the office is off, so I appreciate you guys riding out 2023 with me in these gaming markets, all the people that accumulated the lows and have taken advantage of some of these 10, 15, 20x, numerous 5, 7x's, etc. But I mean, we've really made some killer calls this year on the show, and it's been an honor with the Banter fam and now the In the Game fam here on our own channel to be able to ride this wave with you guys. And we got a long journey ahead in this gaming industry. So guys, like the video, subscribe, Happy New Year's. I'll see you guys on January 2nd. And as always, play well, my friends.